Hey there everybody, I'm Connor and welcome back for another movie review. Today I'm going to be talking about 9 Lives and what you should expect from it if you haven't already seen it, and if you should go and see it yourself. So the story of the film is the kind of classic redemption story of someone who's kind of done wrong in their life or who isn't really meeting the full potential of themselves or kind of what they are kind of expected to be from the people around them, and they have to kind of go on this crazy journey to redeem themselves and ultimately become a better person. And that is the role that Kevin Spacey takes on. So it's about how he is this big businessman who's very arrogant, he's very selfish, he's a bit of a jerk, and he is magically turned into a cat, which he then goes and lives with his daughter and his wife at the time. And it's just about him trying to get out of this cat's body and find a way for him to get back into his own body and eventually improve his life. Throughout the story, it's kind of there's not really a real connection to Kevin Spacey's character because we see him as being such a massive jerk at the start of the film. He's just very selfish and self-centered. He doesn't really care about what anyone else says or thinks because he's just this big business owner, and it's kind of got messages behind it, because a lot of the messages in the film are actually fairly good, but the kind of storyline and the characters in the film don't portray these particularly well, and this results in us not having a great connection with the main protagonist. However, I do think that we feel a good connection with his son David, because the main character's name is Tom Brand and his son is David Brand, and it's a little bit how when David is kind of going around looking for ways for his father to keep his business, well, his father Tom Brand, Kevin Spacey's character, is unconscious in hospital whilst his kind of mind is in this cat's body. So anyway, his son's going around trying to keep his business afloat, trying to prove to his dad that he can be a man even though his dad is unconscious, and we feel a kind of connection to this character as everything seems to be against him and he's very unloved by his dad and the people around him, whereas the protagonist that we're supposed to feel for, who's get turned into a cat, we don't really feel anything for him because he's a jerk and he gets what he deserves in the end. But we do see that he becomes a better person at the end of the film, and we see that he's nicer towards people, or so we assume. We don't really see a full resolution to that, but we can assume it just considering the events that occur. But overall, it's supposed to be a comedy film. There's very few laughs. It's just, the humour is very poor. There's nothing there. There's not a huge amount of substance to the film. In terms of camera techniques, audio techniques, things like that, there's nothing exciting or creative about it. It's all very standard, long shots, mid shots, close-ups, and it just goes between those. There's a couple of pans and zooms here and there, wide shots, just very standard stuff, nothing too creative. And I think they've just tried to get this film out as quickly as possible and just say, right, here's an idea, let's run with it and hopefully it will make some money. But unfortunately that's not the case. So as I mentioned, there is some good messages behind the film. Messages like having good relationships with the people around you, not being self-centered and selfish and actually caring for others is a very important message throughout the film, and also gives stereotypes of big businesses and things like that, and it uses the stereotypes of how big businesses are bad and this kind of thing, and how families are very important. So if you like that kind of thing, it's a very family orientated film, and the comedy is rather poor like I mentioned, but I don't really think you would go and see this film in the cinema. I wouldn't recommend doing it. It's much more of a DVD or kind of rental thing that I wouldn't recommend anyone seeing. It's not a great movie at all. I would rate this a 4, maybe 3 out of 10. Unfortunately it is 9 lives, but I mean the rating system is 10, I can't really rate it out of 9, but I'll rate it 3 lives out of 10. And yeah, hopefully the next film that Kevin Spacey is in will be an improvement on this one. It's not going to look very great for his career anyway. Also Christopher Walken is in there. He's just kind of like a helper character who drops in and out whenever the story needs him to, which is a bit of a shame because he could have been used a bit more, or a bit more creatively at least. But if you go and see this film, or you've already seen it, then let me know your thoughts down in the comments. If you enjoyed this, then be sure to hit the like button and subscribe for more movie reviews and videos every single week, and I'll see you in the next video.